bunch of fights have been announced throughout this week. Uh, but before we break all those down, check this out real quick. It's a Dustin Poirier shirt. I got it in the middle of shopping, and I'm really excited about this shirt because, I don't know, Dustin Poirier was one of my favorite fighters ever, and the fact that they had this shirt at like a random Korean mall was very fascinating to me. But with that being said, we're gonna break down a bunch of fights that have been announced by either the UFC or their independent journalists, and we're gonna start off with the big one, Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. This is gonna be the main event for the Perth card in late September, and I'm gonna say this: I think everyone feels this. I want to see Dominick Reyes win. Dominic Reyes, like, he's just a more entertaining fighter overall. He is, I believe, gonna be more of a challenge for the top guys in the division, especially Magomed Ankalaev. I believe that Dominic Reyes, he beat John Jones. So the fact that after that robbery and then he lost like three fights in a row by knockout, and to see him climb his way back up into a title elimination bout is truly beautiful to see. And I really believe that Dominic Reyes is gonna win. And this isn't me talking strictly out of bias. I just don't see what Carlos Ulberg is gonna do. All right, is he really gonna knock out Dominic Reyes? Maybe. Dominic Reyes is chinny, but at the same time, Carlos Ulberg isn't the guy that's known for one punch knockout power. I understand that he knocked out Alonzo Manyfield in 10 seconds back in the day, but outside of that, how does Carlos Ulberg typically fight? He just point fights at range, leg kicking at distance. He's basically the light heavyweight version of Israel Adesanya. And I don't really see that working well against Dominic Reyes. This could be a boring fight because Dominic Reyes, he is a primary counter striker, but it's not like Dominic Reyes is scared to go on the offensive, especially with his hands. And I ultimately believe that's going to be the difference maker to this fight. Sure, Carlos Ulberg may have some good leg kicks and he can move around a lot, but Dominic Reyes is also a guy that can move very well. And I don't really see Carl Solberg being able to just leg kick at range without Dominic Reyes being able to either check on those kicks or just counter off like a lazy leg kick or anything like that. Maybe this doesn't get go to a knockout. Maybe Carl Solberg has a really good chin, but I'm gonna say that Dominic Reyes has the more impactful moments. On the numbers, I believe that Carlos Ulberg is going to land more, but at the same time, Dominic Reyes, he's not like 40 years old like Jan Blachowicz, and I don't know. I think he's better than Volkan Oezdemir at least. So I'm gonna say that Dominic Reyes, he's just gonna have the more ooh and ah moments throughout the fight, and I'm gonna say that he's probably gonna get a late round TKO. Actually, no, Dominic Reyes doesn't have the best cardio. But yeah, I just think that he's gonna have the better moments throughout the fight. And at minimum, he's probably gonna win the 48-47 decision. I swear to God, UFC, if you rob this man again, all right, no, there's no place on earth where Saul Diamato and all of these fucked up UFC judges will be safe. All right. So I'm gonna say that Dominic Reyes, unless the UFC judges blatantly rob him or anything like that, he's probably gonna win at least 48-47 decision. All right, now moving on, we got Benoit Saint-Denis versus Mauricio Ruffy. This is gonna be on the Paris card on September 6th. And I think everyone feels the same way. Benoit Saint-Denis is incredibly cooked. Now, there are some guys online like Lucas Tracy talking about how, oh, Benoit Saint-Denis, he's had some experience, and Mauricio Ruffi's relatively unproven. Yeah, sure. I know Bobby Green isn't exactly the best win in 2025, and the guys he beat before aren't exactly top level competition. But at the same time, Benoit Saint-Denis, has he looked good recently? And I'm not just talking about the Poirier or even the Moicano fight, because those guys are legit. I'm talking about his fight with Kyle Prepelic on the Canada card. Like, Benoit Saint-Denis, like, I know it was on short notice because he was supposed to fight Joel Alvarez, but the way he looked against Kyle Prepelic, who isn't even, like, supposed to be a UFC fighter, I believe he came in as, like, a regional guy on, like, I don't know, like, a week notice or something like that. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why it loaded like that. But anyways, like, I don't really see any improvement from, Benoit Saint-Denis. If anything, I think he's regressed, and, I think it's due to the fact that he now understands that he can't just maraud his way forward. Like, he looked very sloppy in his fight with Kyle Prepelic, and sure, he was able to get takedowns and just, like, muscle Kyle Prepelic around, like, control the back. I believe he secured an arm triangle in the second round. I'm not really too sure. I know he got the submission. I'm just not sure how he did it exactly. But either way, Benoit Saint-Denis, if anything on the feet, he looks even worse than before. And that's very concerning because at this point, Benoit Saint-Denis is essentially a body kick and a half, all right? There's nothing else to Benoit Saint-Denis striking. Like, it's not like he's moving his head all that much. It's not like he's really putting in any sort of offense with the hands. Like, Benoit Saint-Denis is so open on the feet. And sure, he may have a granite chin, but it's not like he's never been knocked out before. Like, Dustin Poirier knocked him out last year. Moicano fucked him up really badly. And he also lost to Elijah Zaleski dos Santos back in the day. I understand that was on short notice up a weight class, but still. And I think Mauricio Rufy, like, sure, you might not think he's like the same level as a Dustin Poirier, maybe even a Hanato Moicano. But I think stylistically, what Mauricio Rufy has been able to show us is that he can like knock you out cold, right? And it's gonna be a very slick way of doing it. I can see the left hook being very open. I know Benoit Saint-Denis, he keeps his chin open every time he tries to throw the left hand. And there's just many openings, I believe, for Mauricio Rufy. I'm not exactly his coach, but like, I feel like Rufy will look at that fight being, oh, I can find this knockout shot. Or like I can find not that knockout shot. Like he did this against Bobby Green. All right. I think Bobby Green is a way more technical striker who actually understands distance a lot better than Benoit Saint-Denis. So I'm gonna say that Mauricio Rufy probably gets a KO within the second round. Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty realistic. And even if Benoit Saint-Denis goes to later rounds, like I understand, like he's got the cardio advantage. Like sure, Mauricio Rufy does get tired, all right, but Benoit Saint-Denis isn't exactly this cardio monster. Like Benoit Saint-Denis, he gassed out in his fight against Dustin Poirier, and yeah, you could say it's staph infection, but like I don't know, Benoit Saint-Denis just pushed forward nonstop for like a round and a half, and then Poirier just picked him apart. And then in the Hinato Moicano fight, like I understand people are like, oh, he was doing better in the later rounds. It's like not by much. Like I understand, like he was starting to try to put something together, but realistically, it wasn't like he was like outpacing Moicano in the later rounds. I don't know. It's just very weird that a lot of people think that Benoit Saint-Denis is this cardio monster. Like, yeah, he can bully you, but if this goes to the later rounds, I don't think uh Saint-Denis has this massive cardio advantage over Mauricio Rufy. So yeah, even if this goes to the later rounds, I'm gonna say that Benoit Saint-Denis is gonna get tagged the fuck up, and Mauricio Rufy, especially in the first three rounds, I'm gonna say that he can do enough. Actually, no, this is a 3 round fight. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Mauricio Rufy at bare minimum gets a 29-28, but I'm probably gonna lean more towards like a second round KO. Like maybe Benoit Saint-Denis, like his chin like pulls through in the first round, but I think Rufy is gonna be slick enough to find the knockout shot towards the middle and end of the second round. All right, now moving on, we got Walter Walker versus Ryan Spann. Now, for anyone who has been watching my channel for like maybe like a few weeks now. You guys know I do not like Ryan Spann. I'm gonna pick Walter Walker because of that. All right, I don't think Ryan Spann, simply put, is good in any way, shape, or form. Like he literally lost to Waldo Cortez Acosta. I don't think Waldo Cortez Acosta is all that good, and the fact that Waldo Cortez Acosta is in the top 10 of the heavyweight division is simply disgraceful. But that being said, all right, Ryan Spann, the reason I can't pick him to win this fight is because he's retarded. Like he will probably give up away to single leg X where Walter Walker can finish a heel hook. All right. Walter Walker, now is he all that good? I don't think so. He's pretty goofy. Like his heel hooks are nasty as fuck, but the rest of his game leaves a lot to be desired. Like, I remember the Kennedy Nizuku fight not that long ago. This guy was like charging at Kennedy face first into the canvas, and the only reason he survived was because Kennedy Nizuku got uh, flabbergasted. Like, he's not exactly like a really defensively sound grappler. Like, I think Kennedy Nizuku is more of a slick striker who wants to keep distance, make it look technical and stuff. And Walter Walker, he was able to push it forward and just make it look like a dogfight. That being said, though, Ryan Spann, like although he's retarded, which is why I'm gonna pick against him, he's not exactly like a technique merchant per se. Like Ryan Spann, if you shoot on him, he'll like defend and then he'll try to punish you after defending the takedown. Ryan Spann is looking to knock your head clean out, like with like big meaty hooks and whatever he can throw from the kitchen sink. So this is very concerning to Walter Walker. I'm genuinely surprised that Walter Walker isn't getting a top 10 opponent, like at least. I thought he's had a nice win streak so far, and honestly, he's the best unranked prospect in the heavyweight division now that Martin Buday is gone. But seriously though, like I don't understand why Walter Walker is getting like I'd say like a plateau in the level of competition. I don't know if I could say that Ryan Spann's worse than Kennedy Nizuku. Like I think they're pretty similar, but yeah, it's just weird because I thought Walter Walker's gonna get like a ranked opponent soon. But either way, I'm gonna say that he gets a heel hook solely because Ryan Spann is retarded, and maybe Ryan Spann wins this fight. There are holes in Walter Walker's game that I am concerned about, but I'm not gonna be the one to pick Ryan Spann because it's Ryan Spann. And last but not least, we got Martin Buday. He's been cut from the UFC. So despite going 7-1 in the UFC, and his only loss is to the GOAT Shamil Gaziev, and he literally beat Marcus Buchecha like a few days ago. For some reason, the UFC thought, all right, we gotta cut this fool, and it's very weird. All right, however, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I don't care. Like, I've always picked against Martin Buday, and Martin Buday has proven me wrong by just using his fat ass belly to lean on the opponents against the cage. Alright, like, let's be real, he should have lost to 44-year-old Andrei Arlovsky. I'm never gonna not stop bringing that up because that it's just shameful. Like Martin Buday, I don't even understand how he's 7-1 in the UFC. Fact that he was 7-1 in the UFC makes me confident that I can win a couple of fights in the UFC heavyweight division. Alright? What does Martin Buday even do to win his fights? Other than like holding people up against the fence with this fat ass body. I don't really get it. All right, it's weird that the UFC cut him though, because I think he was on like a 4-fight win streak. Yeah, that's so weird. And like, I will say this though, although I don't give a shit about Martin Buday, and I'm actually kind of glad that Martin Buday is gone. All right, this is not only bad for the heavyweight division, but this also kind of makes it concerning that the UFC like they can just cut you even when you're performing. Like I'm not saying Martin Buday is all that entertaining to watch, but he's doing his job and winning fights. And I understand if they're like someone's like losing fights and they get caught off the roster, but Martin Buday is like winning fights and getting caught off the roster. Right? So this just kind of shows that like you can have like kind of a relatively boring style, all right? And the UFC still might cut you. Like even though you're winning like 3, 4 fights in a row, and like I wouldn't say looking solid, but you're looking better than your opponent typically, right? I think the fact that Martin Buday got cut from the UFC right now sets up a dangerous precedent because now it's not just like the heavyweights who are like mostly shit to watch. Like you can be like a legitimate UFC fighter, have multiple wins, but because you're not exactly the most entertaining fighter, you can potentially get cut. So while I am glad that I don't have to watch Martin Buday fight anymore, this is concerning because I don't know, it's like a lot of fighters like it's just weird. They could just get cut even if they win. And that's kind of concerning because like I don't know, it's a lot of it's their livelihood. And although I talk shit about a lot of these fighters, like they're getting paid to fight. So I'm not gonna go out of my way to like try to jeopardize that. And I don't think the UFC should either. All right? Like I understand that they're a business who hires these fighters, but like they're doing their job. Like it's not like Martin Buday was losing that many fights in the first place. So it's kind of weird that the UFC did this, and I'm just kind of concerned about like some fighters who might have boring styles, but like that are on a win streak because especially like someone like fucking Leroy Murphy, like they can get cut at any minute because what just happened here. All right, that's gonna be it for today's video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about all these matchups, as well as Martin Buday being cut from the UFC. Like again, I don't particularly mind it, but it might not be long before my favorite niche fighter gets cut from the roster. Seeing as how Martin Buday literally went on a 4 fight win streak and still got cut, so it is kind of concerning. And also, the heavyweight division needs some prospects. All right, fucking, I understand it was fucking Martin Buday of all people, but still, all right, Martin Buday is probably better than almost every single heavyweight that's not within the top 10. So it is very concerning to see. But yeah, other than that, leave a comment down below what you guys think, and like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.